All right, so unfortunately, we have to talk about one of the most despicable human beings on the face of the earth, and his name is Erik Prince. And I'm going to tell you about this guy in a second here, but understand the situation that is unfolding right now in Afghanistan is really heartbreaking for a lot of people, right? You see the scenes of Afghans who are clamoring to get on a lot of these planes. Obviously, some people are going to be left behind throughout this process, although Biden has been ramping up significantly the amount of people that have been evacuated. I think they've done close to 80,000 at this point. So they're getting a significant amount out, but still people are really desperate to get out of the country right now. And meanwhile, as these people are showing these signs of desperation and need to get out as soon as possible, this is what Erik Prince is doing. Blackwater founder Erik Prince charging $6,500 for seat on flight out of Kabul. So here's some of the details here. And Blackwater, by the way, is basically this mercenary group that he started and he founded. And basically, it's a mercenary group that was participating in all of these wars, and they profited greatly from massacring civilians. And so here's what they say. Blackwater founder Erik Prince is among the growing number of private defense contractors and former spies who are attempting to turn a profit on desperate Afghans who want out of their country before the U.S. shutters its 20-year mission on August 31st. The Wall Street Journal reports that Prince, who faces UN sanctions over his sketchy work in Libya and whose Blackwater guards were convicted of murder in 2014, while providing security for Americans in Iraq, told the Wall Street Journal he is charging upwards of $6,500 a seat on a private charter out of Kabul. The paper was not able to confirm whether Prince even had the capabilities to carry out private evacuations, and that's a massive question. But still, $6,500. I mean, what people in Afghanistan that are desperately trying to get out are going to be able to afford this ridiculous price gouging by Erik Prince? But just to give you a perspective, when they were talking about his Blackwater guards that worked for him, this is what they're talking about. This is just one piece of the things that they did. This is what they happen to be convicted for in terms of their war crimes. So the Niswar Square massacre occurred September 16, 2007, when employees of Blackwater Security Consulting, which is now called Academy, they changed their name because Blackwater's name had been so greatly tarnished in the public, and so they changed their name to Academy. But these guards, these Blackwater guards, a private military company contracted by the U.S. government to provide security services in Iraq, shot at Iraqi civilians, killing 17 and injuring 20 in Niswar Square in Baghdad while escorting a U.S. embassy convoy. The killings outraged Iraqis and strained relations between Iraq and the United States. In 2014, 4 Blackwater employees were tried and convicted in U.S. federal court, one of murder and the other 3 of manslaughter and firearms charges. So understand how absolutely rare it is that somebody like this or people like this who commit these war crimes in Iraq, Afghanistan, all of these different regions we're involved in, it is so insanely rare that they are ever held accountable in any way, shape, or form. And the efforts that were undertook, and there's many documentaries that you can go watch on this, but the effort that it took from people, the families of people who were massacred in this Niswar Square massacre, the amount of effort that it took for them to put together a case, have it be actually held in the United States, and have these people be convicted, it just took so much effort, and then all of that effort was undone by guess who? Donald Trump. Trump pardon of Blackwater Iraq contractors violates international law according to the UN. Okay, so these people ended up getting pardoned by Donald Trump. I think it was in the last days of his presidency or last little bit of his presidency. But this is the type of person that Erik Prince is. And the fact that this guy remains to be out of a jail cell right now, he should be rotting in prison for the rest of his life for the types of things that he was responsible for, including the Niswar Square massacre, but many other things as well. Again, Blackwater's name, the private, and again, you can just call them mercenaries, not private contractors, but the Blackwater's name was tarnished to the point where he literally had to change the name to Academy, and they continued to do what they're doing, as that Daily Beast article was pointing out, charging $6,500. So you go into a war zone, you help create a bunch of refugees and desperate people, you commit war crimes against them, and then now you're trying to price gouge them on the way out. It's just some of the most evil and despicable shit that I could possibly think of, and it's exactly what you would expect from a ridiculous, evil motherfucker like Erik Prince.